Hey guys, NoZoupForYou here, and today I am going to give you my review of what I feel is the best German battleship in the entire German battleship line. At least it's my favorite. I enjoyed playing it immensely, and that is the Tier 6 Bayern. This ship, I believe, sets itself apart from the other battleships in Tier 6, both in actual gameplay, what it has to offer, so I'm going to talk to you about it. The gameplay I've selected is kind of interesting, not really an offensive round for me. I got put into a really bad situation very early in the round. Before I knew it, I had absolutely no one to the north with me, so it was basically me versus a slew of enemy battleships. Not a position you want to be in, but by that point it was too late. I really couldn't flee, so I was on the defensive, and despite being on the defensive, because of how good the Bayern is, I was able to hold my own. I didn't survive the round, but it was still a lot of fun. So, let's talk about the Tier 6 Bayern. Hit points. We've got 51,600 hit points for the Bayern. That is actually not the best out of all the battleships there. You've got the New Mexico that has a tad over 53,000, and then at the top of the food chain, you've got the Fuso at 57k. Does this put the Bayern at a disadvantage? No, I don't think so, because of the other attributes it has, and also, like most German battleships, your armor is fairly good, especially when angled. There's a nice little citadel right there from range. Look at that. Off to a good start already. Couldn't quite finish him off. I almost got the deletion, just couldn't. So, armor on these ships is really good. Again, not necessarily that turtleback armor that the Tirpitz, has, but still very good. Speed on the Bayern is 25 knots. That is going to be the lead of the Tier 6 battleships. Fuso has 24.5, and then the New Mexico, like most US battleships down in these tier levels, is anemic at 21 knots. The range on your guns, you're right in the middle. You're not the best, you're not the worst. The Fuso has 21.8k. Of course, we all know that IJN battleships down in these tier levels outrange just about everything, but that's okay. New Mexico is going to be worse than you at 14.9, and like I said, you're right in the middle at 16.6k. So, as far as I'm concerned, that's pretty decent. And of course, all these are going to be for the upgraded hulls. These are all maxed out. I'm not going with stock here. So, this is what's going to put you apart from it. There's another nice citadel. Again, see, I'm defensive right now. I'm trying to run away. I've got all these ships chasing me down, but the Bayern is just really getting to work as that nemesis of all cruisers, which is what the German line was created for. So this is the part that's going to set you apart. Your rate of fire, 2 rounds per minute. That's up there with the Fuso. New Mexico is a little worse than that, but here we go. Your guns, 380 millimeters. That outclasses both the Fuso and the New Mexico. Yes, this is one of the few tiers where German battleships have a caliber advantage over all their battleship counterparts. Now get used to these 380 millimeter guns though, because you're going to have them for a while. You're going to have them until you get to the upper tiers. And after this tier, it's going to put you at a little bit of a disadvantage. Though that rate of fire again is going to help you out a little bit. Again, you're the big daddy with the guns right now, but that's going to change after this tier. Another cool thing about these guns is you have a 35% burn chance on your HE rounds. Again, that's around tier 10 burn percentage chance. Very good. So keep that in mind. You know, I kept AP going, but if you get up tiered in this battleship and you're going against those other battleships of a higher tier, you're probably going to want to utilize that HE as much as you can. And I am burning up pretty good right now, just trying to take out these cruisers that are swarming me like hornets right now. So, the interesting thing about the Bayern is that there is only one hull upgrade that you can have. You've got an A hull, you've got an A hull, and a B hull. Unlike the New Mexico and the Fuso that go up to the C hulls. And finally took one out. So getting to work here, and you can see on my mini-map, which isn't quite that enlarged, I'm the only one up here. I've got 2 battleships swarming me. I've got 1 cruiser left. And I'm just trying to take him out before he burns me into oblivion. And I'm just overpinning the hell out of him because these 380mm shells, they're just ginormous. And we know that these lower tier cruisers just don't have armor. So, not necessarily paper thin, but again, they're going straight through. So, like I said, the Bayern, in my opinion, really offers a lot. It's a blast to play because, again, your guns are gigantic for tier 6. And finally dispatched him, so he is gone, and already I'm off to a really decent round, 67,000 damage, and I'm going to turn on this Fuso now. I'm tired of running. I've taken care of all the threats, or at least the threats to me that can put me on fire. And I've lost half my hit points, but that's alright. And here, this little battle right here is kind of tough because I think this Fuso knows what he's doing. He's kept himself angled with me, so he's not your average schmo. He knows what he's doing, and he's not going to go broadside. So I'm going to try and keep angled to him, and I've got another threat out there as well. Got that Congo just kind of lurking. Unfortunately, this Fuso has a hit point advantage on me, so I'm going to get to work and see what I can do. Now I've mentioned in previous videos that I view the German battleship line to be kind of a surgical tool. You're a finesse weapon, and with all scalpels are they're a very surgical tool. Like I said, surgical. I keep repeating that term, surgical, don't I? You can use them to the point that they bend, but if you use them too hard, they break. And that's the analogy I like to use with the German battleship line. You can bend it extremely far, but if you go too hard with it, you're going to break it. And these German battleships are not made to be straight up in the face bruisers until you get to the upper tiers with the likes of the Bismarck, the tier pits, which are really good at that because we know in the tier pits you have torpedoes. The Scharnhorst, you have torpedoes, so they can brawl, although you don't really want to, because you are fast. Basically, you are a cruiser destroyer. You use your speed and your range to your advantage. Try to avoid engaging with battleships if you can. At this tier, yes, he's firing HE at me. This guy's smart. I'm telling you, he's a tricky devil, and I'm having a hard time getting his citadel. Really, with the German battleship line, do not try to engage battleships. You want to go after cruisers. That's what these ships are built for. That's what they excel at, especially before and after this tier where your guns are outclassed by the other battleships of your tier. And here we go. I'm setting him on fire with my secondaries, which I've mentioned before are really, really great on the entire line. Secondary loadouts are going to be what you want to go for, not concealment. And we're so close to each other right now that I can't get to his lower hull line. I'm going to have to peel off here. And I'm breaking pursuit on this battleship. I'm in trouble now because I've got this Congo kind of closing in on me. And I'm going to distance myself. I know I've set him on fire. I'm going to hope that I can burn him out and just go after this Congo right now. And I'm just in trouble, sandwiched between these two. I'm at 100,000 damage, and in my opinion, anytime you can do 100k in a game, it's a good game. So, hopefully this has highlighted what I like about the Bayern the most. It's just really strong for its tier. It's great at taking out cruisers. The guns outclass everything. I really think this is the most enjoyable battleship in the entire line, and it's a good line. There's a lot of fun battleships. But Bayern just has characteristics that set it apart from the other ships. So once you get to this battleship in tier 6, you're going to enjoy it. You can see my fire still going. It's not going to take him out. We're going to watch myself sink here. But yeah, Bayern, it's a great battleship. A lot of fun, great characteristics. You're going to enjoy the grind on it. And even the ships after this, you're going to enjoy. So, hey, get at it. I hope you enjoyed this review. I'm going to bring you more. German Battleship line has a lot to offer, so stay tuned. This has been NoZoupForYou, and I am out.